Hey everybody, it's Cindy here, your fearless leader of confident women. You can have it all. And one of the things I'm hearing over and over and over from women in midlife is how they're kind of tired of their careers, or they're looking for a career that means something to them, or they're in a dead-end job, or they haven't worked for years outside the home and they're empty nesters and they don't know what to do about work. And anyway, so I thought, okay, I'm going to address this, because one of the things that I think is so important, no matter what our work is in life. Now, work to me can be like paid employment, volunteerism, raising children, being a domestic goddess at your home, whatever you spend, the majority of your time where you feel like you are in your flow of service, whatever that is, you define it. I don't define it, but I'm just saying, let's call all of those things work. Okay, whether it's how you get your primary income or not is irrelevant, but probably that's how most of you look at work. But however you define that, fine. But what I want you to think about how you're spending the majority of your time are you passionate about it? Are you working your passion? Because when we're working within our passions, we are passionately working, which is what it's meant to be. Like when I'm here with you, I hope you can feel the passion that I feel as I'm working right now. I mean, this is so important to me, to connect with women, help you transform your lives. I'm a coach, a personal and professional success coach. This is what I do. I've been a therapist for 2.5 decades. I've been a coach for 13 years. I love, love, love to help people transform their lives and create exactly what they want. So I'm totally passionate about it. So I am in my flow and loving work. I love to come to work. I love to get up and get in my office and work. And that's what I wish for you, is that you feel like a little fire underneath you about what you're doing. And if you're not, then we might want to look at some things and how you can get that feeling in your life. So remember that no job is just a job, like ever. When you're miserably working, that's not working for you. It's not working for the people you're working for. If you're working for other people, an organization or a company, that doesn't work for them either. Because if your heart's not in it, your energy's not in it, and you're feeling bad about it most of the time, you're probably not very productive. You're probably not, it's just hard when you feel that, when you're not happy where you're at. It's hard to be productive. It's hard to feel like you're in your core genius and all of those things. So here's what I want you to remember when you think about working your passions, is remember the 3 P's, okay? And that is aligning your purpose with your profession. When you align your purpose with your profession, then that equals passionately working. 3 P's. So aligning your purpose with your profession equals passionately working. And that's my wish for all of you. I have that. There's no reason on earth you can't have that. No reason on earth at all. So how do we figure out what we're passionate about? Like, how do you know what you're passionate about when you're not sure? So think about what you most believe in life and what you love to do. Things you love to do and things you most believe in, like what you really, really value. Okay, so let's look at the word passion. You know me, I like acronyms. And I created this one a long time ago because I did a whole talk somewhere, I don't even know where anymore, I can't remember, about working your passions and passionately working. So I use the word passion, Passion, to help people think about this a little more carefully, a little more in depth. Okay, so first of all, I use acronyms a lot because it's easier for us to remember things that way. Our brain tracks them better. So the P stands for purpose. Okay, purpose. So you might say, I don't have a purpose, or what would my purpose even be? Well, listen, we've all got purposes, otherwise we wouldn't be here. There's no point in us being here if we're not here for some purpose, or maybe several purposes, and we're not fulfilling those purposes. So But really, we're meant to, in the earthly experience, to have joy and enjoy life and feel good about life, not to suffer. We do suffer sometimes, but that's a whole other subject. So remember that you are each uniquely and creatively made. We're all a little different. Even twins can be very different in other ways, even though physically they sometimes look a lot alike. So remember, we're very unique, each and every person and personality, and there's a reason. It's because we need all these rules on Earth fulfilled. There's assignments all over Earth that need to be fulfilled, and so you have one. You may have 10. Who knows? But anyway, you know how some people are really aligned towards certain careers and others are not. Like I just had to talk to my air conditioning people, and I have no understanding of that, but boy, are they awesome. They know what they're doing, and it's their passion, right? It's their purpose to keep people's air conditioning working. For me, that's like I would be out in left field. Nobody would have good air conditioning if I was in charge. I have other gifts. I have other purposes that I'm fulfilling now. My purpose is to help people transform their lives, right? So what's yours? So you want to think about how to align your purpose with your actions, okay? And look for what you love the most and what you believe in to really find, what really trips your trigger will help you find what your purposes are. Then A, think about authenticity, being authentic, being true to yourself, to who you are and what you believe in, walking the talk of your life. Like all this stuff that I share with you guys, I teach you guys, I coach you on, I am doing in my own life or have done them in my own life to get myself where I am today. I am authentic. I am walking the talk that I am doing in my job. And so I'm very authentic. And if I'm not, times that we're not, or if you're not, then you are out of alignment and moving further from your passions and purpose. Okay, the first S, service. Providing something for others. We all have this innate need as humans to contribute. We all want to make a difference, whether we know it or not. That's an innate human desire, is to contribute, to make a difference in some way. And generosity, if you have generosity in your idea of service, then that comes around to you again. So you give what you can give. You give it out in any way that you can, and then it comes back around to you tenfold. So looking for your passions, you want to think, gosh, what feels like a service, something I can provide someone or something else. Somehow I can make a difference to other people. And that can lead you to what you're really truly passionate about, is thinking about that. And then think about what is really sacred to you, what feels really sacred to you. Work may not always be sacred, but it is divine. I remember talking to a man several years ago who had been kind of a prominent, very prominent man in his profession. And he got to retirement years, and then he found himself taking care of his elderly mother. And he was changing her diapers, and he was feeding her, and he was doing all that divine work. And he thought his work was pretty mundane and meaningless because it wasn't glamorous, it wasn't showy, nobody was watching, nobody was clapping for him anymore. And I said, hey, this could be the most sacred work you've ever done in your life. It just doesn't look as glamorous or fascinating. I felt the same way when I was raising my children when they were really, really little, and the average day was, change this one's diaper, keep this one from crying, hug this one, read to that one, get that one down for a nap, get that one up and play with that one, bathe them both, feed them how many times a day, wipe their bottoms and noses and clean up their puke, and I mean, it wasn't glamorous. It was not glamorous. But when I could tell myself and mean it, that I was raising souls, that I was caring for human beings who literally would die without somebody's care, Then it put the sacred element in it, and it turned my head around and helped me be able to do it in a much more meaningful, happy way. So find what's sacred to you, what feels divine. Because when we put those the two S's together, the twin S's, the service and the sacred service, or service that's sacred, wow, we are on to something big, right? Okay, then your interests, explore your true self, like things you really love. What do you love to do? If you could do anything for a week, and money was no object and time was no, there were no constraints of time or money or anything, what would you be doing? Those things are things you're truly interested in. And so how can you turn that into your primary focus in your work life? Because then you'll be passionate, very, very passionate. So look at those interests. If you're like, I don't know, I haven't thought about what I'm interested in 20 years. Well, if you haven't thought about that in a long time, then I dare you to sit down like with magazines and just flip through the pages and look for words that jump out at you, or images, pictures that jump out at you that you think, oh, that looks like fun, or oh, I'm attracted to that, because that might tell you things that you're interested in, which will lead to a more passionate life. And then, O is opportunity. You want an opportunity to grow in the midst of whatever your work life is. So ask yourself, like, in what areas of my life that I've focused on over the years have I really grown and changed and feel like I've evolved as a person? Because when we're passionately working and working within our purpose, we are growing and changing and evolving. We feel like we're being altered as a human being. We're becoming even more authentically ourselves. We're becoming even more stepping into more who we really are and what's important to us. So look for the opportunities for growth that you've had with different things, and that might be clues to what you're most passionate about and where you want your work focus to be. And then N stands for necessity. Now this may be a little stretch for some of you in your minds, but to me, passionately working within our purpose and feeling really good about our work life is a necessity, like food, water, and oxygen. Because especially in America, we tend to spend a huge amount of our time in what we call work or job or purpose, employment, volunteerism, whatever, raising children, taking care of the home or our families or our parents, whatever it is. We spend a big, big, big chunk of our time. And so I believe it is a necessity to really feel good about what you're doing. The better you feel about it, the better your whole life's going to be. So look for what feels really good. A lot of people work jobs and they think, well, they got to go to work. They got to pay the bills. They got to go to work. They got to pay the bills. And if they're suffering at work, that's too bad. That's just the job. And that it doesn't have to be that way at all. There are gobs and gobs and gobs of ways to make money. There's gobs of careers. There's gobs of volunteer opportunities. There's all kinds of ways that you can express yourself where you can feel really, really good. So I beg you, if you are not feeling really good, to really begin to explore what alternatives you have, because it is necessary to have a healthy, happy life, to be joy-filled and feel like you are living within your purpose in the work that you are doing. So let's quickly review passion again. Okay, P is for purpose. A is for authenticity. The first S is service. The next S is sacred. Then I is for interests. O is for opportunity. And N is the necessity of feeling really, really good. Trust me, if you can grasp what you're passionate about and then align your purpose with your profession and feel passionate about it, not only are your hours you spend within all of that going to feel really, really good to you, but you're going to be a happier person. And guess what? You're going to be a healthier person, physically healthier, actually, as well. There's gobs of research on this. You're going to be physically healthier, a much happier person, which guess what? Means your relationships are going to feel better. you're probably going to have more free time. And actually, the research shows when people are working in their passions, they're usually even making more money. So it can even be financially more prosperous for you to be in your element. Because why? Because you're going to love what you're doing. You're going to want to grow. You're going to want to give it more. And you're just, it's a win, win, win. And the impact you will have, will be even wider than it currently is. So there is not any reason not to look and study and explore internally until you know what you're passionate about, and then go and match it up with your profession, so you can have joy-filled, meaningful work life. So if you want to dive in even deeper about this, please feel free to let me know, and you can schedule a breakthrough coaching session with me, and we will get you passionately working in no time. Thanks. Have a great night, and I will talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.